If you are not into the environment, stay tuned anyway, because I have 4 tips about how the planet can help you achieve your potential. That's right, you might not be into the environment, but you might be into success. I would imagine most of you are. We all have something we want to achieve, right? Well, I am an environmentalist and I am into potential. In fact, that's what I do for a living, is I help people achieve their potential. I'm Lilli Cloud. I am a marketing consultant and I help people market themselves. And our sort of slogan, actually, even on the Bluefeet website, my company's website, is, have you reached your potential or are you just successful? So I'm going to talk about 4 ways that the planet can help you achieve your potential here in just a minute, because this brings together 2 things that I love, environment and potential. But here's the weird thing about it, is I actually did not know that I was an environmentalist. Like, I had no idea. And for years I did, well, things that you might actually find irritating. Well, I drive a hybrid and I hate plastic water bottles. And actually I have saran wrap or plastic wrap in my drawer that's at least 10 years old. Like, it still has the Target logo on it, and Target hasn't used products with the Target logo. They started this Up and Up brand like 10 years ago. That's how old my plastic wrap is, because I never use it, because I hate plastic wrap unless absolutely necessary. So I have all these like environmental things that I'm really into, but I really didn't realize that it was unique until people started saying things to me like, don't tell Lilli, but, and then they would say something that destroyed the environment. Or like, don't tell Lilli, but so-and-so took out their desert landscaping and put in green grass. Ah, painful. So I started hearing friends saying stuff like that. Or like recently I was at lunch with 5 girlfriends, and when the waitress came with the drinks, they all grabbed for a straw, like every single one of them, except for me. That's when I started to notice, oh, actually I am kind of different than some other people. But this is what happens to my clients all the time. They have this unusual thing that they do, or maybe just not common, and I'll ask them like, well, does anyone else do this? And they'll say, well, I don't know. Or it's what always comes down to, well, that's just what I do. That's just what I do. Really? Maybe we should tell somebody about that. And that's what happens when you have a chance to talk to somebody else like me to help uncover what makes you extraordinary. Just things that you take for granted might not be things that everyone does, and could be something you could use to help market yourself. So that's my 2 cents worth about your brand, your personal brand today, is start listening to what other people are saying about you, and that might actually be a clue to something that's special about you. So here are 4 ways that the planet is going to help you achieve your potential, in addition to listening to what's special about you. So number 1, green exercise. Green exercise is like exercise squared. And that is according to this book. Yes, I'm such a geek that I read a research book on the environment. So Your Brain on Nature. This book is filled with just research studies about how nature impacts your brain. And it has a lot of great stuff. But I read it for you. So here's what I'm gonna tell you. Green exercise is like exercise squared. We can get outside and exercise again. It's a little dreary here today, which is why there's not a lot of light on this video, even though I'm right at the window. But that means it's nice and cool, good day for a hike. Okay, so get outside into green space. Even if you're in downtown like I am, there are still a few pockets of green space, and it can make a huge difference in your brain. Number 2, office plants. Office plants actually help, according to studies, improve learning, behavior, and health in academic settings. Well, I could certainly stand to improve my behavior at work too, so I assume that it would help me in that environment. One thing about this though is that don't turn your office into like a tropical forest, because apparently that mellows you out way too much. Just have a plant or two or so just to give you some spark in your brain. Number 3, aromatherapy. Don't tune out. It's not that weird. You may just think it's like in the land of crystals and stuff, but it actually, like, legitimate scientific organizations are using aromatherapy now. For example, the highly scientific organization of my friend's dog trainer. True, she actually recommended that my friend use aromatherapy for the dog, who was a rescue and needed to calm down and just kind of get herself able to focus, which she was having a problem with. So rosemary is an awesome scent that actually will help your memory. The yoga studio I go to uses rosemary all the time, and I am now addicted to this smell of it. It's just amazing. Lavender, on the other hand, is very calming. So you may not want lavender if you really need to be on, because that might chill you out too much. But you can go to the health food store. There's all sorts of places now where you can find out what scent is going to work for you. And maybe you do need to calm down. Maybe you want a little hit of lavender before a big presentation. Okay, number 4, windows, which I know you don't all have access to, tragically. It's just like the modern office, right? So windows and light, which I don't have a lot of today. As I mentioned, it's dreary here today. But apparently, according to Your Brain on Nature, those with windows, people who actually have windows on a regular basis, are more likely, I'm sorry, scratch that, people without windows are more likely to have negative thoughts. And your thoughts are your actions. Like they make your life go or not, as the case may be. So windows can actually help you be more positive. And they also have done studies with people in hospitals, and people who had access to windows healed faster than people who didn't, who had access to a window with nature, not like a brick wall, but a window with nature. And if you're sitting next to a window with a brick wall, and I know I have a client who has offices like that, then you probably need to get outside once in a while too. But at least you've got some light going on, besides just the fluorescent and that stuff. So those are 4 things that can help you achieve your potential. And bonus, if you are stuck inside, maybe away from a window or just too busy, take a quick break, maybe a minute or 2 or 5, maybe while you're eating lunch, and watch a nature video or look at nature pics. Like, pictures of nature can actually help you. It's the closest thing to being there, and it really does have an impact on your brain. So I hope that you take some of these tips and go out and achieve your potential and be nice to the planet. It could use our help, and it's like the only one we have, right? So let's take care of it. Okay, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.